Yo, what is up, everyone? My name is Dom, and we're here to talk about unusual options activity. Alright, disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only. The statements made in this programming are solely the opinion of the show and are not a specific inducement to make an investment. One must perform their own due diligence and realize that all investments carry risk. There's no guarantee of profit. Okay, so first stock I want to bring up today is Affirm Holdings. Now, this is a fintech buy now, pay later company. There's been some reports lately about how it's been buy now, pay never. That some of these companies are experiencing a wave of customers not paying back, buying now and never paying back. So if we take a look here at some of these May 2022 calls here, you can see there's quite a bit of open interest in some of these 150 strike calls and these 125 strike calls and the 110 strike calls. Today they are buying the May 2022 125 strike calls. You can see from this other open interest here, they've been loading up on some of these other calls here. They've also been buying some March calls. I think they were getting the March 150 calls at some point. So Affirm has been very active here, and probably because the stock has had a pretty nice pullback here, in my opinion. The stock hit a high of about 176. Now it's sitting at hit about 90, which is about the 200-day moving average. That was a good place to get in. I bought the stock a couple days ago, so I got in around the 9,800 level. I think this is a good long-term play here. If the stock runs up to about 150, yeah, probably about this level where there looks to be some overhead supply. Maybe even one of these resistance levels here, 130 or 140. I would probably, if it makes it there in a short amount of time, I'll probably look to take it off, probably just like how I would look to take the option off. Once again, I'm not in the options. I'm actually in the stock in this one because of the pullback in this one. A lot of these growth stocks have had huge pullbacks lately. I think it's a good time to enter here. It has not been a good long-term strategy to invest in energy stocks or Cleveland Cliffs, United States Steel, material stocks. Those stocks have been garbage for about 30 years. Even though we might be entering a higher rate or a rising rate interest rate environment, rates are still extremely low, and I don't foresee rates going significantly higher until the Fed actually starts selling assets on their balance sheet, which at that point the whole market is going to go to crap. So that's just kind of my 2 cents on growth stocks and rising rates. I'm not sure, haven't experienced a rising rate environment in quite a while, but we will see. So next one I want to bring up is BITO. This is the Bitcoin ETF here. Now this one's a little interesting here. This is a futures ETF, so it does not track the price of Bitcoin exactly. So whoever's out buying calls must think that Bitcoin, no matter what expiration they're buying, they must think that Bitcoin is going to make a significant move to the upside, which will power this ETF higher. I think it was these March ones here. Yeah, March 2022. 45 strike call. Mind you, this ETF is at about 32. Bitcoin does move. It's a very volatile asset class, but there is about 16,000 contracts traded here. Open interest of about 1,900. I like that volume to open interest ratio. I like that Bitcoin has pulled back. At least this ETF has pulled back. Bitcoin is probably about $20,000 off of its high. I do like that they're buying these super far out of the money calls here, although the delta here is pretty low, so you're going to need to buy quite a few of these if you want to see a nice return for the ETF to move up just a few dollars here. This thing peaked around $45. Right now it's at about 32. I personally would rather go out and buy Bitcoin over this ETF, especially if you're going to long-term hold it. Once again, you know, if you're not sure about how futures ETFs move relative to the price of Bitcoin, there is some loss of value in these ETFs as they roll the futures contracts. So it's definitely not a good long-term hold to hold this ETF. If you're not sure what I'm talking about there, I would definitely recommend looking it up or leaving a comment down below, because that is very important to know, that how futures ETFs relate to the actual price of the coin, because it doesn't track it exactly, and you actually lose money with the rolling over of the futures to the next month. You actually lose quite a significant amount of money. So thanks for everyone who's been subscribing. Sorry we've been taking a little bit of a break, been sick, holidays. We're going to get back into it here. Hopefully we see a strong market here in either direction. I don't really like trading a choppy market, which is kind of what we've been having, because you're buying calls, you're buying puts, and you don't profit when everything is just standing at the flat line, buying calls or puts. You can go out and start shorting options. That's a little riskier. Not something I really want to bring on this channel for people that are not really too sure what shorting options is about. But however, thanks to everyone who's been subscribing. Thanks for sticking with the channel. Make sure to check me out on Twitter. I'll be posting some more over there at Option Guru 100. We'll see you in the next one.